Disclaimer. What you are about to hear is for entertainment and light education. This is meant to spark curiosity, to explore history, legend, and symbolism, but it should be taken very lightly. We do not intend to offend anyone's personal beliefs, values, or opinions.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are the Seekers of the Arcane. I'm Mars.
I'm Jesse.
For today's video, we are gonna get into a case. To be more specific, a vampire case. This is a case that is not really well known out there, to be honest, but when we heard of this case, it was honestly probably one of the most compelling vampire cases that we've heard of. And you guys will see why, but like, the thing is that we're not really super big on like vampires or like believing too much in that lore of like vampires and stuff. But when we heard this, we were just like, this is kind of just like really interesting, and there's a lot of like eerie information and details about this case that just made it really like stand out to us. So that is why we wanted to get into this case here on our channel today. But before we get started into the case, if you guys can quickly do us a favor and subscribe to our channel, like this video when it's over if you end up liking it, and don't forget to share with anyone that you know that is into like the supernatural, the paranormal, anything having to do with occult, esoteric, paranormal investigations, paranormal cases. We have all that stuff here on our channel. So your guys' support would really be helping us out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this case.
In the winter shadow of early 1700s, along the tender border between the Habsburg Empire and the Ottoman world, a strange fear gripped a small Serbian village. It was the fear of the undead, of a man who was said to have returned from the grave to torment the living. His name was Arnold Paole, a soldier, a frontier guard, and according to official Austrian documents, one of Europe's first recorded vampires. This is the chilling true story of the vampire of Medveđa, the case that helped ignite the vampire craze across Europe long before Dracula ever rose from his coffin.
So our story begins in the village of Medveđa in what is now Serbia. In the early 18th century, this region was battered repeatedly by war, disease, and famine. It was a land where the line between the living and the dead didn't always feel secure. Here, the vampire wasn't a suave nobleman. It was a swollen, restless corpse, a revenant returning to feed on the living. Such beliefs weren't fringe ideas. They were part of daily life, accepted by soldiers, peasants, and even government officials. And it's in this world that we meet the man at the center of it all, Arnold Paole.
Terrified of becoming one himself, he said he performed ritual protections, eating earth from the vampire's grave, smearing himself with its blood. These were serious folk remedies at the time, believing to sever a vampire's influence. Whether they worked is another question entirely.
Soon after his return, Paole died in an accident, thrown from a hay wagon. He was buried in the village graveyard, and life seemed to move on for about a month. Within 20 to 30 days, villagers began reporting sightings of Paole walking at night. People claimed he attacked them, leaving them weak, sick, and ultimately dead. 4 people died in rapid succession. The village elders were certain Paole had returned as a vampire.
40 days after his burial, the villagers dug up Paole's grave. What they claimed to find chilled them. His body was undecomposed. Blood seeped from his mouth and nose. His limbs were flexible. His skin and nails appeared renewed. To them, these were unmistakable signs. They drove a stake through his heart, burned his body to ashes, and did the same to the 4 people believed to be his victims. For a few years, peace returned, but only for a few years.
Now around 1731, nearly 5 years later, Medveđa was struck once again by mysterious deaths, this time even more severe. Between 13 and 17 villagers died, one after the other. Once again, vampirism was blamed. But now, the panic spread beyond the village and caught the attention of the Habsburg authorities. They responded the only way an empire could. They sent investigators.
Austrian military surgeon Johannes Flukinger, along with other officials, arrived to conduct a formal inquiry. Their report, the Visum et Repertum, became one of the most famous vampire documents in history. When they exhumed the bodies of the newly dead, they recorded fresh blood inside bodies buried weeks earlier, bodies that looked as if asleep, flexible limbs, new skin and nails, little to no signs of decay. Flukinger concluded that these villagers were indeed affected by vampirism, allegedly originating from Arnold Paole's earlier curse. The doctors ordered the traditional remedies: staking, beheading, burning. All of it was done with full blessing of the imperial government.
The Arnold Paole affair exploded across Europe for several reasons. It wasn't just peasant storytelling, it was documented by state physicians. The reports circulated in Vienna, London, Paris, and beyond. Enlightenment thinkers debated it fiercely, with some mocking it and others taking it disturbingly seriously. Many of the tropes we associate with vampires today, staking, contagion, the bloated corpse, became widespread because of this very case. Paole's story became a cornerstone of vampire folklore.
The case of Arnold Paole remains one of the most influential vampire stories in early modern Europe. It shaped Gothic literature, fueled a wave of vampire hysteria, and left a mark on everything from local folklore to academic debate. Even centuries later, Paole's name keeps resurfacing in anthropology, in paranormal studies, in literary history. His tale sits perfectly between folklore and fact, superstition and science, making it irresistible to anyone fascinated by the strange and unexplained. But the real question, the one everyone eventually comes back to, is what actually happened there. And that brings us to our final thoughts.
Today's science offers several possible answers. Bodies can bloat, purge fluids, and shed skin in ways that look disturbingly alive. Illnesses can spread quickly, especially during harsh winters. And fear, especially in a traumatized frontier village, can twist tragedies into something supernatural. All of this is true. But even with those explanations, the Arnold Paole case never fully settles into something ordinary. Because these weren't just frightened villagers. They were Austrian military doctors, educated men, describing bodies that defied their expectations. 2 outbreaks years apart, always returning to the same man, and Paole's eerie confession that he had once been touched by a vampire's curse. Modern science can explain parts of the story, but it doesn't explain all of it. And in the space between what we can explain and what we think we know, a little darkness lingers. Whether Medveđa suffered a tragic wave of disease or whether something restless truly stirred beneath the earth, well, that part is still left for us to wonder. So guys, that is it for this story, for this case. Let us know if you guys have ever heard of this case before. I know we haven't, but it really caught our attention, and that's why, again, we just wanted to share it and bring it here on our channel for you guys to enjoy it just as well as we did. So if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. But you guys, until then, don't forget to keep your candles burning. Until the next video. Bye.